Hey, my name is Emma Van Dongen for Tiger News, and I'm here with Joybomb performing at Riverbeat on Saturday.
Hello.
This is
Grant Beatty. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm Xander Sinclair, I'm the drummer in the band.
I'm Lukey Lovesick. I play guitar.
I'm Connor Booth, and I play bass, and I sing a little bit.
all right. First off, how'd you guys get the gig at Riverbeat?
It's a great question.
You know,
Funny story.
we've been grinding for a few years, and it's nice. We're super honored, honestly, to be on the radar of the Talent Buyers at Mempho, at Mempho Presents and at Riverbeat. So, like, you know, our name essentially got thrown into the pool of artist relations there, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll take a gamble on those guys." Whoops. So, yeah.
Whoops.
So was it a DM on the Instagram?
It was an email, a formalized email.
Wow.
I know.
What'd they say?
They said, we would like to make you an offer, or hey, would you be interested? And then we countered, but we said we were interested. So did a little business. And
Alright.
yeah, and
The
but
grind.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, it was word of mouth. Word of mouth. He's our friend, and it's nice to have friends in working in the festival circuit. You know what I mean?
So how long have you guys known that you were performing at Riverbeat?
Oh.
We were on tour
Not long enough.
in January?
in December. It was that first.
Oh.
It was that
We
first.
found
one.
out that far back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember being like, yeah. In the emails, I was like, you guys.
By the way,
you guys want to play this big
clear
band?
your schedule.
Yeah, I just know that like at some point in time that I checked the group chat and Grant was like, "Hey, we're playing Riverbeat, by the way." And I was like, "Oh shit."
I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then like now it's like a few days away, and I'm like, oh. Shit, we're playing that.
Yeah.
Does it feel real?
No.
No.
Not really.
No, it doesn't. I have no idea what it's like to play a festival. This would be like my first festival. I'm sure I could say that for Xander too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I just know that it's gonna be different than like a normal show, but I'm trying really hard not to let it stress me out. I'm trying really hard to be like, yeah, it's gonna be a good show, normal show. You're playing, rock out, it's gonna be fun. But,
Right, the loading in is great. The
Oh,
loading
dude.
out is terrible.
If it's raining, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
But, dude, we're going to do a thing where we put our hands in and we're going to pray to the rock gods, and I'm just going to be like, guys, it's a normal show. Welcome, go team.
Yeah.
And it's going to be.
Just play it like
gonna
we're
kick
playing.
ass.
Play it like we're playing Acton Small Room.
Yeah, high tone, small room.
Yeah.
Except not the last time.
yeah.
Okay.
God, that show made me so depressed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh god, I hate music.
Yeah, well.
Which high tone show?
It was a
It was like a
It was a
Sunday.
Sunday.
Right.
High tone, small room.
Yeah.
It was like raining, it was cold.
But it was the first time that we were back in a while, and so, you know, it was just like, God damn it. But it's all good because Saturday's a big day.
Yeah.
Saturday's music.
It's not a Sunday.
Saturday's
It is.
Not a
And even if
Sunday.
it was Sunday, it'd be totally okay because it's a big freaking festival.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you guys all meet each other?
We met
Probably at a party.
years ago at a
Yeah.
party. Yeah.
I don't know where or
Or
when.
when?
But I
7,
was
8 years ago.
in an old Joybomb lineup. I was making a record, and I knew it was American Cold Candy that came out in 22. We started that in 20, like right when the pandemic hit, and so literally it was like end times, and so it took a while to get that one on its feet. But I remember literally being in the studio and talking to. Maybe Sam Prager, yeah. Shout out Sam Prager, Memphis Current, RIP. And he was like, I knew my bassist, the longtime bassist, Adrian Lewis, who's getting married soon. Congratulations, Adrian.
Yay, Adrian.
R.I.P. Adrian. Stable life.
Donzo.
Dude, all in chain, brother.
Yeah. But I knew he was leaving the band, and so I was like, fuck. Because we were about to have a really good record, and I was about to have no band. And so... Yeah, through him, he was like, hit up Connor Booth, and so I did. And
Yeah, 'cause
I
all
was,
my
I was
bands
like, bro, you want to play
pretty
some pop punk-ish? And he was like, totally, as long as I could sing.
A little
And I was
bit.
like, I'm holding you to that.
And I've been eating those words.
Yeah, he's been ever since.
Ever since.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you want to sing it? Yeah, I want
I
to
was
sing
like,
it.
all right. But all my other bands had like evaporated because of COVID. And I was like, well, I'm bored. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna play just pop punk.
I'm glad you were bored.
I was very bored. And the songs were great. I was like, dude, I'm
I'll keep you
down.
busy now, motherfucker.
If the songs were dog shit, I would have been like, love you, no. But then
Yeah.
the songs were really good.
I mean, I feel like that's a good principle to live by.
I agree.
No.
So how did you all meet?
Okay, so back in
It's over a year.
I want
ago.
to say
February.
I'm bringing
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing it back
I
a
bet.
little bit more than
I
that.
bet.
So it was El Chavos, me and Lukey's.
Mhm.
Shut the hell up. It was El Chavos, me and Lukey's other band. It was like our 5th or 6th show or something, and it was at B-side, and we played. There were 5 bands on the bill, and we were last.
Wasn't it like a Wednesday too?
Yeah.
It was the middle of the week.
It was we were supposed to be playing Wednesday at night. We ended up playing Thursday morning.
No way.
We ended up
Yeah.
playing at 12:30.
They went on last.
But Grant was there.
I was there.
Grant was there, and I saw him. I was like, "Oh, that's the guy from Joybomb. That's cool." And then we played a show with Joybomb
At High Tone.
and High Tone about in like summer 23.
Yeah. So like El Chavos was on my radar, and I was like, oh,
And then
they're good.
so how I got in the band was I was at the drum shop, and I think I had a cymbal that I had a warranty on. And I was getting my new one. I was getting my replacement, and the dude at the desk, John, I think is his name, handed me a flyer saying that Joybomb needed a new drummer, and like El Chavos, we were kind of in a dry period because our friend man was at UGA pursuing his pre-med degree. So I was like, well, fuck, I want to be in a band that's actually doing shit right now. And so I immediately hit up the Joybomb account after I left the drum shop, and I was like, hey, I'd be really interested in doing this. And then Grant gave me like 4 songs, and then he met me at my place, and then we like played them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it was,
Xander hit some home runs, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
All right.
yeah. And then so I've been in the band since March, April of
Last year.
year. So about just over a year now.
Lukey joined the band after Lyric Rock left, and basically it was another situation where it was kind of like, oh no, I mean, all love, shout out Lyric,
Love
love
Lyric.
you dog.
Love Lyric.
But it was
What?
it was a situation where it happened really fast, and it was kind of like, man down, oh shit. And
And I was like, I know someone.
yeah,
I know
Xander
someone.
was like, I got you.
I have been already going to Joybomb shows just to like support because Xander's other band. So I was like, okay, cool. And I fucked with the music, so I was like, this is cool. And then I was at the show that we played. Chavez had played a show earlier that night, and I didn't have anything to do, so I went to the Joybomb set, and it happened to be Lyric's last show.
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
Is that it?
I bought a Joybomb shirt.
yeah.
Grant let me buy a Joybomb shirt for like $12, which is not how much they cost.
Yeah.
No.
Grant let me have a significant discount, and then I walked
How many
out
discount?
hanging out with Xander's girlfriend, and then Xander was hanging out with us, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go." He's like, "They're having a really quick band meeting," and then like he comes back from the band meeting, and Xander just walks by me, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You need to be listening to Joybomb," and then just walks past. And then he's like, he sent me, he was like, make a playlist, and then a couple weeks later, I was at Grant's house learning nanoplastic and like Faith and Chem and like Cold Your Pocket and a lot of stuff off Modern Scripture, and then I was listening to American Cold Candy like consistently. I mean, I was listening to it on the way here even, but
Everything
They're like one
happened
of your
so
top
fast.
artists on
they
Apple
are
Music for-
Joybomb is one of my top artists because I've had to do so much practice.
They're one of my top artists too.
Yeah, I think my top 2 are probably top 2 is probably Joybomb and Chavez. Yeah, but and then we just kept rolling, and then couple weeks later, I went on my first tour with them, like on my
Dang, that was right after that.
day after my birthday.
Yeah.
I had just turned 21. and
Yeah.
it was a really
So we
big
were
deal.
like, Lukey, get in the van.
Yeah. And now that I'm a part of Joybomb, and I'm the biggest pain in the ass in this band. It's awesome.
I don't know. I don't know. It's-
Giving you a run for your money.
Did you guys expect Nanoplastic to be the biggest hit on Spotify?
Honestly, no.
No.
No?
No.
I-
I thought Faith and Chemistry was going to be bigger than it is.
Those are the 2 that like when I first heard the band. I wasn't in the band yet, but I just heard Xander like listening to like Faith and Chem all the time and Nano, and I was like, dude, these songs are cool. Like Faith and Chem really hit me, and I was like, dude, this song is like nuts.
I thought it was just because it's poppier. I thought it was gonna like.
It sounds like
be more hook
No,
oriented.
dude, it's that hook in the intro that gets me. With the like that's like the
It's
whole.
a beast to sing.
It's the whole thing.
It's sick though.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
It's like super high, so I'm always just
Very.
like, I try not to get in my head about it when we play it live, because I'm like, it's almost in a key where I'm like, why did I write this song? I regret it every time I play it.
There's a note that Grant doesn't hit half the time live that like
Yeah.
I have to kind of be looking to make sure like he'll look at
Are
me
you talking about
like,
the scream in the end or the chorus?
the scream in the
Oh,
end.
yeah, yeah.
And then
Most of
there's
the time. These
yeah.
days, there was a period where like I really nailed it all the time, but now
You did?
it's something about the way it is. I just, it's hard to hit
Yeah,
that.
no,
Probably because it's like halfway into the set and you're already.
We always play
kind
it
of
at the end.
fried.
Yeah.
You're kind of fried. But if you do it at the beginning, you're just fried. from the
Exactly, because you
Yeah.
haven't warmed up, and so
Yeah.
then it's like, either way, you're kind of
Yeah.
screwed.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Darn.
There are always those parts of songs where it's like you're singing it in your car, it's fine, and then you like set on a stage and you're like, oh
Yeah.
crap.
Where to go?
Yeah.
Where to go?
If
Yeah.
I overthink it for sure, like
Yeah.
and like it'll be coming up like the final like yeah, and then like and I'll be like, you got this, just chill, bro, just chill, and then I'm getting there, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
And then you see this like panic look of like worry in Grant's eye that he's not gonna be able to hit. And he looks over me. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I look at Loki and I'm like,
okay, I'll try.
Maybe it's because you're overstressing yourself.
yeah, I think that's
There you go.
exactly what it is. I'm losing
Yeah.
my cool.
Don't lose your cool.
But yeah, nanoplastic rocks too. And honestly, it's like politically charged. I mean, it's kind of nihilistic, or it's satire. It's like really dark satire.
Yeah, tell me more about what it's about.
It's about it's about our effect on a planet that seems pretty irreversible, like tragically irreversible at this point. And so it's like, oh fuck it, we like our convenience, you know.
Yeah.
And so let's just lean into
I can live
it,
with
you know?
plastics in my
Like I don't
brain.
actually believe that, but it's like from a perspective of, you know what, we like this, and we're just gonna keep doing this,
Yeah.
and ride it out into oblivion.
From the perspective of the world as a whole.
Pretty much.
The
yeah.
world.
So what's the writing process like? Like who does the most of the writing?
His middle name is E.
That's fucking
I do.
Yeah.
Majority, lion's share of them.
Yes, but you know,
They'll bring it around.
yeah, I bring it, and I'll be like, hey, here's the section, and I was thinking, open with a halftime, then invert it, you know, and then I write lyrics, but then I'll be like, hey, here's this window, I want you to do what you do, or I'll be like, hey, here's this lead line, or here's this bass line, but like, take it and run with it. You know?
So it's lyrics first.
It's one. Honestly, it can be either way.
Yeah.
lyrics in the one guitar usually, right?
Yeah, so like sometimes I'll just be sitting on a lick and it'll exist by like a riff and it'll exist by itself. Sometimes I'll think of a, you know, like a.
We'll have options.
Yeah, right. I mean,
And
sometimes
I'll be like, whichever one is the not least crazy, but like.
I usually end up Frankensteining like lyrics to songs where I'll
Yeah.
write something over here, I'll have a piece of music over here, I'll have like a verse and 2 bars of a chorus, and then I'll be like, I don't know what to do with that, and then I'll have this new thing, and I'm like, maybe that'll work, or like I could feel like the feeling of these lyrics match the intensity
Yeah.
level of the song, or like
in
the
studio when you had the leftover lyrics for iPop.
Yeah.
And you used them as like a different
and a
part-
bridge, yeah.
bridge
We
for
were
different songs.
we're working on a record, and we can talk about that if you want. But
Yeah.
we like in a bridge, I was like, I need lyrics here, and so I was literally just fumbling through paper, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And like on the fly, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then that wasn't the take, but we redid it enough to where I was like, actually, that's pretty cool.
Nice. So talk a little bit more about the record that you just mentioned.
Somebody else wanna?
I want to say everything about it. Okay,
Please do.
so the studio was really fun. We booked it in 2 separate sessions. The first
Who
session,
are we working with?
Yeah,
we were working with Mac Walsh,
Aqua.
super awesome engineer, man.
He's
Super
super
Shout
awesome.
out Matt Qualls.
Super big shout to
Got
Mac
it.
Walsh. Awesome guy. Really cool studio. We went in there and we played songs, and I recorded all of my parts, every single one of them. And it was a really good album. It was a lot of Grant saying, hey, we should probably do this, and then me being like, okay, and then messing it up for 30 more minutes.
We did like all the shit for 6
Yeah.
songs. I mean, 11
For
songs
11,
in like
yeah.
6 days.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. In 6 days, we did 11 songs.
We went lightning speed.
And like honestly,
Yeah.
there's some stuff we gotta patch up, and it's gotta go through production, or mix down and full. I mean, Matt's gonna work his magic and make it sound like a big hi-fi rock record. But honestly, I was really impressed with all of us. And that I don't mean to toot the own horn, but like, you know, it was like the clock was ticking. You know, time's money, and but we kind of went in and kicked ass. So
We pulled through.
Wow. So the record is pretty much finished.
our part
We got a
is
mix.
finished.
Yeah, we got a mix and master and all that.
As far as playing goes,
Yeah,
yes.
right. Recording.
Do you have a general theme in the record?
Cooler than anything Joybomb's put out before.
Yeah, what she said. Yeah, I mean, okay. So there are a couple of. There's a song that comes to mind that like I love. It's not even satire, but it's like double entendre religious play.
Mhm.
So it's like religious symbolism or symbology or something like that. You know, is a metaphor for, you know, sacrificing one thing for another, but doing it in kind of a tongue-in-cheek way.
Yeah.
And because like modern scripture like employed that kind of like lyricism. And so there are a couple of songs on here that are like that. But honestly, you know, it's got some rock and roll cliche as well. You know, like self-destruction. You know, like
Yeah.
I made a mistake. Oh no.
It's like we have like there's a couple rocking guitar solos.
Yeah, dude, we got
Alright.
Lukey is
There's a real
ripper.
rocker.
Yeah.
It's a-
Yeah.
pretty ripper.
Okay. I write about technology a lot. I write about our relationship to like, because that's one thing that we kind of gloss over. And I feel like pop and rock oriented stuff. We talk about like, there are socio-political topics that sometimes don't get tackled. And I don't know. I feel like a common thread through like how we live, young people live, and just not even young people anymore. Like the whole world lives in 2025. It's like scrolling for 3 hours a day, and like so I write about the relationship between how social media and that kind of engagement and like just being spoon-fed certain types of content, like shapes your redefinition of self and like and your connection to other people and whether or not whatever, all that stuff. So I try to do it in a way that's like earnest, but then also like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like this is stupid and we're doomed.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
I'm not anti-technology, but I just think that like if you give us the toys, then we'll just mess it up.
Grant likes to have the conversations that he wishes other people would have more often. And that's why I like that's one of the things I find the most intriguing about Grant's lyric writing. It's no problem, Grant, I got you.
But then we also write about, love and heartbreak.
Of course, yeah.
We're having a good time. All right. Yeah.
Drink the beer, man. Sometimes we need to talk about drinking beer.
Yeah.
Drinking beer,
Yeah.
ripping doors.
Fast cars,
Yeah.
having a good time partying.
Fast
Yeah,
cars,
fucking-
doing lines of K.
Yeah.
No.
So, in the making of the record, what was like the hardest conflict that you faced?
Me and Xander seeing each other every day.
But like, there was a couple songs where like, it took a minute for us to like figure out what tempo they were supposed to be, and then we had to make it to where it jumps up and down and
Yeah.
shit.
We played with a click track. So like,
Yeah.
there were a couple that live
That'd be
have an ebb and flow
Pain in the
that
ass.
it's natural, but in the studio, if you're playing to a metronome, then like that can, for a second feels unnatural, but a couple of takes and we were like, oh, that one feels right. But literally we Frankensteined at least one song.
We like got to the next part of the
Majorly,
song, we were like, okay, this is way too
Yeah,
fast.
right. Because going from like to like.
Right.
Like
Gotta find that
you
middle
don't want to
ground.
quite double time or half time that, so it's a little bit of give.
Yeah.
But honestly, it feels like Van Waves sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel Frankenstein?
Mm-mm.
Not really. no.
That's good.
Yeah.
Feel free.
I think it's a really well-rounded album, and we're
It's honestly no skip, man. All the songs.
yeah, they're
songs are-
bangers,
all songs are
dude.
really good.
Yeah, I think so too.
At least I think.
And
they're all-
even the ones that are like the deep cuts that are gonna exist on the fringes of the album, like to me, they're really interesting. Like
Yeah, they're
the,
cool.
the skip over songs sound like the Pixies.
I don't,
So like,
I don't even,
Oh, that's
I don't even know which songs I would consider the skip over songs or which songs are going to be the big ones.
I don't
because they're
skip
all
over it.
because they're all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I mean, I could totally see that like Everything Is Drugs is the biggest song, but I could also see iPop.
right.
You
I
know,
get totally.
I could even see like
I-
Heart Attack Boy being the
Yeah, dude, I can see that really being like the one that connects
Inner
with
Treat,
like
yeah.
the scene right now.
Yeah.
So.
I texted him at like 6
Oh, yeah,
in the morning.
Yeah, he was like, "Who's
on
album?"
Wednesday, and because I listened to the because he finally, I finally got like the mixes with vocals on.
Yeah.
It. And I was like, retreat, first song, 6 a.m. I'll go to bed. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
And he was like, maybe, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, I said maybe because it was the first. Never mind. But maybe.
Dropping too
Maybe.
much lore.
Maybe.
Yeah, too much lore. But yeah, it's a well-rounded album. It's like super punk rock, but also it's got bubblegum, catchy elements to it. It's also got kind of like some emo and some like sonic landscape kind of stuff.
some of them are super emo. I love that.
Yeah. Well, like we've got a new lineup, and like and honestly, I'm happy the direction the band's going. I think it's like fat. Like the theme through the record is it's fast.
It's fast.
Like you're not gonna be bored.
It's more like it's like you're trying to go like we have a song out called Visions, and I think like one of the big things for this record is we were trying to make pretty much every song on this record hit like that recording
that
does.
Hard.
Because there's no like right now there's no Joybomb recording that hits
That's
you in the
hard.
face like
Yeah.
like Visions
Telltale Boys is
does.
hard too, but Visions is like a
Yeah.
a hit, and it's a
Yeah.
hit for us.
Yeah.
So when did you guys know that you were a part of something bigger, like Joybomb?
Jay, I was born.
What exactly
Like-
do you mean by that?
Like a specific show, a specific moment where you were like, oh, Joybomb is like bigger than just like a small town band. Like,
I would say probably tour.
Tour.
Going out of town and seeing
When we played at
people.
Little Rock,
I was about
That-
to say.
yeah, Pino's?
That Little Rock show.
Yeah, that
Little
Little
Rock,
Rock was sick.
it got like uploaded on YouTube like the day,
Yeah.
not like the day of we played it.
Yeah.
Someone recorded like our whole set, and it was a really good set.
shout out Teddy. Teddy
Yeah.
Too Bad.
Dude,
Yeah.
Pino's is awesome.
Yeah.
Go to Pino's in Little Rock, get yourself some pizza and play there. But
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
had
I
some,
mean,
we had some great
going-
shows,
going on
especially on that
tour.
second run. We had some great shows.
yeah,
We had a
going on
really
tour.
nutty pop-up house show back in August.
Yeah, that was before Lukey joined the band. That was a tour.
Oh, that was in Blown
Yeah, blown out.
What
Yeah,
is that?
Bloomington,
Bloomington
Normal. No.
Yeah.
wow.
In Illinois.
Indiana?
That was-
Illinois, Indiana?
It was a pop-up on a Monday.
One
It was
town,
like
two names.
the first day of whatever school that was.
Well, they
like,
had
student
gone to
calendar.
another house show that Sunday, and we were
Oh
like,
yeah, we met them.
we met them that night,
somewhere
Sunday.
in Southern Illinois.
We were in Carbondale.
And then we were we had a day off, and so we found these people at a party, and I was like, hey, we're looking to do like a house show, just throw like a random show. And they were like,
And they were like,
we'll make a phone
we have
call.
a house show.
And then they put it together, and then we drove up like 3 hours, and there was this huge ass party. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So I grabbed me a 30 rat, said, let's go.
Everybody was so kind. It was like a
Yeah.
small college town, and I was like, I love college towns.
And I could tell they were like bored.
Yeah, but
And
it was
they were
like,
fuck, it was like the first day of
rockers.
classes
It
too.
was the first. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was the first day of school.
classes.
So they were all like, fuck, got my syllabus, dude.
Yeah, it was syllabus week.
Give me a beer.
Yeah.
Everybody
played
to
a
start
pretty-
out the first day of class.
Yeah, they were
Back
like,
in,
it's 6
uh,
p.m. Let's go.
Back in like June, we played a pretty nutty show in Fayetteville. We played a pretty nutty show in
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Smokies.
Yeah, shout out Smokies. Shout out Urban Foxes.
Smokies.
Yeah, and shout out Joe Swing.
Shout
our,
out.
our tour, or a guy that we work with booking. He booked up. We have got a upcoming May tour, and yeah, Swing did that. So and he lives in Fayetteville, right?
Yeah,
it
shout out Georges. Shout out Idle Valley.
Idle Valley, they're blowing.
Yeah, they were
over
nuts.
there.
They were nuts.
Dude, West Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, has
Northwest
some
Arkansas.
crazy bands. They're
They
like,
do.
you
They
know,
do.
important, I think.
And I got Hell family up there too, so we always got a place to
Yeah,
stay.
sick. Let's go.
So, who are you guys excited to see at Riverbeat? Besides yourself.
Luda, yeah, straight up
Ludacris.
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 Ludacris, Public
The Killers.
Enemy, The Killers.
Definitely The Killers.
That
Yeah.
would be cool.
I would love to see Missy, but
Jambi?
I'm going. Yeah, Jambi. Shout out.
Yeah,
Jambi.
Jambi.
Dude.
Deaf Revival too.
Deaf
Yeah,
Revival right
If
across.
we got 3
Yeah.
passes, I'd definitely go see John tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, on Sunday.
I'm I'm not going tomorrow because I'm gonna be a good boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like eat good and sleep good
Oh,
because
that's a lot.
it's a big it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chavez have a show tomorrow at High Tone,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Pop out, iTunes Big Room.
Yeah, so y'all be good. Y'all just
Oh, in Big Room?
be good.
Oh.
Chavez puts the big one to work.
You know.
All right. Well, thank you, Joybomb.
Thank you.
Thank
So-
you.
Everyone
It's been
go
a
see
pleasure,
them.
Emma. Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone go see them at Saturday Riverbeat show. Where?
2:30. Riverbeat.
Mempho presents
Yeah.
stage.
I like
Riverbeat.
Mempho presents
I
stage.
like
Riverbeat.
Riverbeat.
Saturday.
Riverbeat.
I like
Riverbeat on Saturday.
2:30.
Two-
Mempho presents stage. Saturday Riverbeat.
On Saturday on
Top of
Riverbeat.
Saturday.
Thank you.
Saturday,
Joybomb.
please.
Come through. Thank
Riverbeat
you,
Saturday.
Emma. Tiger News.
Saturday Riverbeat. Please.
Peace.
2:30.